everybody, Crystal Beaudry here with Crystal's Clean Kitchen, where we help make clean eating a lifestyle. So we are doing a short series right now that is all about pumpkin recipes. And in today's episode, we are going to be doing a keto approved pumpkin donut that has a cinnamon sugar, not frosting, but it's like kind of tossed in cinnamon and sugar, and it tastes so amazing, and it just goes so perfectly with this fall Thanksgiving time. Now, if you haven't checked out some of our previous pumpkin videos, make sure to go do that, because we did a pumpkin muffin with a streusel topping. We also did a pumpkin bread with a cream cheese frosting. And then we also made a pumpkin mousse that is so delicious. You guys, you're going to love them. And I will make sure to link some of those down below. But I'm excited about this recipe. Don't forget to hit that like button. Thanks so much. All right, let's get into it. So here is all of our ingredients that we're going to be using. Now, I buy my almond flour from Costco. I get such a good deal at Costco. So we're using 2.5 cups of almond flour. We're using 1/4 teaspoon of some baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, which is what that is down there. We're also using 1/4 teaspoon of some salt. And for our seasonings, we're doing 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of some cloves, and 1/8 teaspoon of the ginger and the allspice. Now those are all of our dry ingredients. Oh, I suppose I should add in the sugar too. Now the sweetener that we're using is monk fruit and erythritol mixture, which I find works really, really well when you bake it. So that's why we're using that one. You don't need very much, maybe just like 2 tablespoons of the monk fruit. And the reason why we're not using so much sugar in the donuts themselves is because they're going to be rolled in sugar, and so you don't want it to be too overpowering. Okay, so those are all of our dry ingredients. For our wet ingredients, we're going to be doing 2 eggs, but you're going to separate the egg whites and the egg yolks, just because we're going to be whipping the egg whites, which is going to have the donuts, it's going to allow the donuts to be a little bit more fluffy, have more air pockets in them, and it's just going to be really light tasting. Then we're going to be doing, let's see, 3/4 cup of some pumpkin. Now notice I got the 100% pure pumpkin. I did not get the pumpkin pie mixture. You also want 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 1/4 cup of some grass-fed butter. Oh, I'm so excited to make these. Okay, now for the topping, we're going to be doing some coconut oil. You only need maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. And then we're going to make a cinnamon sugar mixture with the erythritol monk fruit. So you need about 1/4 cup of that and maybe about 1/4 teaspoon of some cinnamon. And then we'll be rolling those donuts in that. So we have our 2.5 cups of almond flour. Hannah, why don't you add that? This is our, careful girl, 2 tablespoons of some monk fruit. Okay, now I'm going to be adding in the baking powder and the baking soda. So I need 1/2 of this. Hannah, do you want to do it?
Yep.
Okay, and I need 1/4 of the baking powder. Good job. Now we need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Ooh, don't get too much, Mom. Ooh, you do so good at this, Hannah, honey. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of some nutmeg. Okay, let's use 1/4 teaspoon of some cloves. And 1/8 teaspoon of ginger. Oh, careful, Mom. And 1/8 teaspoon of some allspice. Okay, then we're gonna mix these all up. Hannah, can you stir it? And then let's go make our wet ingredients. Now you guys, it's actually really simple making donuts. I know it seems like it's really challenging, but especially keto donuts, they're so easy to do. Okay, we're going to, okay, that's pretty good, Hannah girl. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, next we're going to split up our eggs. We're gonna put our egg whites in one of them and our egg yolks in one of them. Oh, Hannah, no, Mommy, do it, Hannah girl.
Why?
Because I have to separate them. Oh, careful. All right, so this is how I separate the egg whites. Now, before we begin any of the wet mixture, we're going to beat our egg whites just so that we can set them aside and then use the same bowl for everything else. We're gonna beat the egg whites. I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Here is how you want it to look. Really nice and fluffy. I'm gonna put this aside in another pan. So now we're gonna be adding in our wet ingredients. Hannah, you can add in your stuff.
Yum.
I'm gonna be adding in the 1/4 of a cup of butter. Now I melted it and then I let it kind of warm up after melting. Not warm up, cool down, I should say. Now we're gonna add the pumpkin. Hannah's gonna add the egg yolk. Now here's a little vanilla. Girl, should we turn it on?
Yeah.
Good job. So we whipped up all the wet ingredients. Now we're gonna slowly add the dry ingredients. I usually add in a half at a time just to have it mix up slower. Does that look good, girl?
I eat it. Oh.
You wanna eat it? Can we cook it first?
No.
No.
I eat it my tummy.
You want to eat it in your tummy, huh? Okay, so I've kind of mixed everything together. Now the recipe obviously looks too thick, right? So now we're going to be adding in the egg whites, and it's going to make it more puffy. Honey, go get the egg whites.
Oh.
So I'm adding my egg whites. Okay, just cleaning off the counter for me. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in some piping bags, just because I like, when I am putting it on my donut pan, that's the easiest way to do it in my opinion. All right, so I'm going to be, like I said, putting this in a piping bag. I actually got this really cute set from Amazon. I will make sure to link it down below. Now I'm not going to be using a tip. I'm just going to be, there's like a plastic part that you can put in. And you don't honestly even have to put the plastic part in if you don't want to. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna just screw this top on. I'm gonna put it in a mason jar. You could put it in a cup too. I'm gonna just kind of squeeze it down over that. Why? Is that what you said, girl? Because I'll show you why. Okay, now I'm gonna put the...
I like it.
You do? Oh,
Yeah.
good. Oh, what did I spill? Whoops.
Yippee.
You kind of want to squeeze it down as much as possible. Oh, I am just spilling all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay, then you just lift it up over the top of it. You can spoon in some more if you're wanting to, or you can just kind of do it again if you want to. Okay, I'm going to put this aside and grab our donut pans.
Yeah, donut pan.
Donut pan, yeah. Okay, now I got these silicone molds from Amazon also. My husband's like, you go shopping on Amazon way too much. But I love it. It's so convenient. What am I doing? Okay, so this, I just warmed up a little coconut oil, and I'm going to be, now normally silicone pans, you don't need anything with silicone. Normally you don't need to like butter it or put parchment paper down if it's a pan. But with donuts, donuts are kind of tricky. Especially keto donuts, because they're made differently than regular donuts. So just trust me, put some oil or something down on the pan. I'm going to take my I'm going to take my piping bag and squeeze it in here.
Why?
Why? Because it's going to make the perfect donut.
Donut.
Ooh, I might go around twice actually. There we go. Now it's better to do it with a piping bag because it, first of all, will look nicer when it comes out. And second of all, it's just easier to get in there. When you do it with a spoon, it's just so much harder. Trust me, I do donuts a lot. Now these are going to be baking at 350 degrees for 15 to 17 minutes. And how you know that they're going to be done is that you're going to put a knife in it or a toothpick, and if it comes out clean, then it's done. After that, we're going to let them rest for about 10 minutes and cool down before we try to take them out of the silicone mold. I have our coconut oil in this bowl. I have a 1/4 of a cup of monk fruit in that bowl. You want to do it? Okay, here you go. Now I'm going to put a 1/2 of a teaspoon of some cinnamon. Can you stir it? Good job, girl. Now I actually put my donuts outside because it's cold here, so it doesn't even matter.
I like it.
You like donuts?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. These are super easy to pop off. I don't know if you can see this, but oh, whoops, well that one broke.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just very gently want to pop them off like this.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, does that look good?
Yeah.
Okay, So now what we're going to do is we are going to, you know what, I'm going to mix this end in the coconut oil and then cover it. What do you think, Hannah? Does that look good?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, gentle. We don't want it to break. Oh, this looks amazing. Okay, then we're going to just put them on a cookie sheet. Okay, let Mommy do it though, because I don't want you to break them, okay? All right, here it goes. Gonna cover both sides. And then if you run out of any of the mixture, you just make another bowl full of it, depending upon how much you like. Oh, these look so good. But there you go. Looks good, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
All right, you guys, here it is. Now, they turned out amazing. Now, with donuts, it's totally normal for some of them to break apart as you are pulling them out. You just got to be very, very gentle and go slow. And they turned out amazing, didn't they? And it wasn't really that hard to make. I mean, it was a few steps, but as long as you follow them, it's pretty easy. Okay, let's give it a taste test. What do you think, Hannah? Oh, these are good. Wow. You guys are going to love these. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for some more great fall recipes. We'll see you next time. Bye.